Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's Thursday, April 18th, and I'm just going live on Instagram as well because, as we know, I do these because I want to make sure my screen is clear. Um, Make sure that everybody knows that I don't just like pull these cards out of the deck just for my own purposes. Let's do this one. Sometimes actually I do because I'm looking for. There's one that comes to my mind, so I go looking for it. But so speaking to that, I actually wanted to work with the Archangel Raphael Healing Oracle card deck today. In my meditations this morning, Archangel Raphael was definitely was making himself known. He always is pretty strong, but today he was particularly coming forward. In addition to all the archangels, they were really strong today. You might feel a little more connected today than other days. So I've done my meditations, and one of the things that I thought that came to me was really don't. I've decided that this notion of toxic people is something that I'm struggling with. I think that we don't. Oh, by the way, Tracy, you can see that I am wearing my loudest pants ever. So I'll tag you in this later. But at any rate, this notion of toxic people, and I think that's probably why the Archangel Raphael cards are coming in, because he's definitely an archangel that we can call upon to help us remove toxicity from us, whatever that might be. It might be toxic thought patterns that are holding us back from moving forward. Things that we talk, the way we talk to ourselves can really have an impact on our self-esteem, our sense of self-worth, that kind of thing. But so speaking of that, so to that point, it's this notion of toxic people. People aren't toxic. I know that there may be people that just, are not good people, but it's our way of relating with them. And that's not to discount that there are situations where people are really horrible, but that's actually on them. It's actually on them. It is our responsibility to stop talking to ourselves in ways that keep us from moving forward, to keep us from being able to communicate more skillfully in our lives, and to be able to move forward. And the other thing have noticed that for myself, I constantly think that other people are like doing much better in their lives, or you know I do not always respect that other people's paths are just as difficult as my own. And I had a real revelation of that, and an opening in my own ability to be empathic. So those were just some of the things that I woke up with this morning. And so maybe that's why Archangel Raphael came through, because I think a lot of times, another thing I realized is I do a lot of healing in the overnight. And a friend of mine recently posted, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, that she's working with being sober. And I think that when we try to reduce the things that keep us from being in consciousness, we sleep better at night, and we are able to process and work through our stuff in a way that's kind of that happens in the overnight. But when you wake up in the morning and you're feeling a little heavy, then what you might want to do, make sure that you're doing some breathing practices first thing in the morning. Don't get on social media. Don't try to get on your computer. Try to be more. Do things that help ground you. Use sage, get into meditation, do some really grounding practices. I play with my cats in the morning just to kind of like bring my soul basically back into my body, wherever it's been, like over in the overnight. So at any rate, I will let all of that go. And if you have like some questions around my thoughts about toxic people, we participate in that. So at any rate, Archangel Raphael are the cards that I pull from today. This is a card that's also from Doreen Virtue. And again, she doesn't really work with this kind of energy any longer in her life. I don't follow her any longer, but I very much respect the work that she's put out there that has healed and helped a lot of people. So this is one of those tools that she put out there to help people heal and connect with powers that are bigger than themselves. And I think that this is a great day to definitely do that, particularly if you feel like you've gone through a long period of healing and are coming out on the other side. So I'm going to pull one card from Archangel Raphael, or if he has more to say. Okay. Actually, he does have more to say. So there are two that came out. Improving health is one of them. It's a beautiful card. And one of the things I'm drawn to this morning, particularly, is the reflect. We aren't in the season of spring, and I think we're probably starting to feel that really strongly. And we're starting to be able to see, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, this reflection of the everything growing around us, and how that can be a reflection of how we ourselves have gone through this period of growth, and to use nature as a mirror for and a respect for the work that we have done. And so, improving health, dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for your comforting reassurance about this situation. So whatever situation, if you have a particular situation, call upon him. Call upon him to take that, to actually, hold on to that situation for you and give you the best guidance in terms of how to move forward. For me this morning, another thing that came up was, there's a situation in my life that I just don't know how to really handle it super well. And again, it's not that the situation is toxic. It's just that it is, my way of working with it hasn't been super helpful. So, and the next notion that came to me was that I think that when we can step back and continue to work on ourselves, and to give ourselves the patience and the time that it takes for us to get ourselves into our best possible place, we're doing that situation overall, and our first and foremost ourselves, but that situation overall, our best selves. If we're improving ourselves and improving the way we show up, then guess what? Already the situation is improved. And the next time it comes toward you, or a similar situation, then you're going to be that much better at handling it. So, dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for comforting reassurance about this situation. And then the other thing was meditation. So meditation came up. Again, meditation is really important today. And I think that, that's awesome that Mother Mary is even in there. For some reason, it's Archangel Raphael, the cards, but Mother Mary is looking like that's who that is in this card. And she came up really strongly for me this morning as well. Dear Archangel Raphael, please meditate with me and guide my mind and body to focus on peace, health, and wellness. So this is your own peace and health and wellness. I don't make this stuff up. I love how, they speak to us all the time. Just be willing to speak with them, And I think today is a really, really open, wide day. Mercury went into the sign of Aries, so it's calm, bringing all that Piscean, everything that you think about in terms of Pisces. I have 5 Pisces placements, so I'm extremely Pisces, and so I'm always thinking about things on this really deep and larger level. And, meditation is a way that I can put my feet on the ground, because with all that water, it's a little hard. So those are the 2 cards. Let's see what comes up in the Shadowscape Tarot deck. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you, Archangel Raphael. I'm going to go ahead and angle the camera down so you can kind of see the cards, and that kind of gets in the way of that. So you can see those cards. Oh, here they are. Shadowscape Tarot. And what's the numerology on today's date? We have 4 + 1 is 5. Plus 8 is 13. And then we have the 2 of 2019. So what did I say? 13 plus 2. So it gives us a 15. Plus 1 is 16. Plus another 9 is 24. So 2 and 4 is 6. So that's the number 24. And then the 6 card. 6 is a card of temporary opportunity and a way of moving forward out of a time of transformation. Working with meditation can help us move forward in a way that's super helpful. So improving health in meditation for sure. And the number 24 in and of itself, just look that up really quickly. This is also a Doreen Virtue book that I will reference from time to time. The number 24, additional angels are surrounding you right now, helping you stay optimistic no matter what is going on around you. The angels know the magical power of faith, and they're releasing any negative thoughts and emotions to give you a clear path for the manifestation of your desires. So actually, that was another thing. I felt super clear. Yesterday, I went for a walk, and I straight up felt like my limbs were so heavy. I could not. I went for the entire walk, but I felt my body was heavy. Today, I woke up completely different. So with that lightness and with that clarity, we already have one card coming out. We have the King of Cups. Yay! We have the King of Cups. Hello, King of Cups. We love him. He is one of the most balanced. Oh, this is emotional balance. This is artistic balance, like totally in charge, like whatever creative endeavors we want to move forward with, go for it. This is about shining bright to being in full mastery. One of the things I keep noticing in this card is the seahorse. And the seahorse is a symbol of fertility. And the male seahorse actually, he will hold the eggs of the female once she so she can actually make more. So he's a symbol of extreme fertility. So I know he's coming out of this bowl that the King of Cups is holding on to. And I mean, this is like Aquaman, right? I totally love this. I love this card. I love the way he's depicted with the longevity. So we have longevity going on with the seahorse and fertility and procreation, sustainability, but you've also got these sea turtles in there as well. Do you see those? And those are, again, this these sea turtles live forever, don't they? I've got this awesome sea turtle tattoo on my wrist. I love that. So it's a symbol of longevity and the ability to live forever. And then the seaweed is here as well, which is very, very nourishing. So this is about self-nourishment, being in self-mastery, not letting your emotions run your life. Not letting emotions run your life. Hey, Jenna, I'm going to be in Rhode Island next week. I hope we can get together. I think Uncle Rob's coming with me. All right, I'll let you know. So what else do we have? I usually like to pull 3 from the Shadowscapes Tarot. I like my other decks, but the Shadowscapes Tarot really speaks to me because I just love the delicate artistry. We've got a lot of rainbows in this too. So be open, be like a rainbow, be open to being creative and holding all the colors of the spectrum today. That is one of the greatest. Oh, hi. We'll take this one as well. We have the Moon card. So again, this is being in and looking within. Now this is also a very, we've got a full moon coming up. I think it's overnight and into tomorrow. We have the Libra full moon. So this is, again, bringing in balance. Where in your life do you feel like you have, you're not quite balanced? And that's coming in right as our central card. And any kind of relationship work that we need to do, which is another card that would come up with the King of Cups, is, gaining mastery in our relationships by striking balance, by striking communication. And that's another keyword, if you will, for the cups, the suit of cups. It's about communication, and on the mental level, as well as the spoken level and the hearing level, with the people around us, to create the best relationships possible, which is what we were talking about at the beginning of this reading. Making ourselves the best possible is the way we show up the best in every situation, and speaking our truth, being honesty, being mastery, looking at things in a sustainable way. What are the relationships that sustain you? That's something that's coming up. Hi. Okay. We have another card that just came up. And it's the Four of Swords. So again, this is a meditation card. So Archangel Raphael is the card that came up first, one of the cards that came up first from that particular deck. And his advice was meditation. And like I said, although this is the Archangel Raphael deck, I definitely saw Mother Mary's energy coming through that. I saw that immediately as her. So, and blue is a color of communication as well. So Four of Swords, communicate with your higher guidance. The Four of Swords is a card of rest. It's of taking the time that we need to be the best possible. Are these zinnias? I think they are in this card. I'm going to look up the symbolisms of zinnias, or if you guys want to, you can definitely look that up. I don't know what their symbolism is. I love in this card how the swords are piercing her hair. That's going right through going through the crown chakra, and actually above into her aura. So this is definitely we are super well connected today. And she's got this beautiful dove flowing. This is a very peaceful card. The card that comes up after the Four of Swords is the Five of Swords, which is a card of like conflicting ideas with others and perhaps having to go to battle with other people over that. So we definitely want to take in that time, this time of rest. I definitely want to look up what the zinnias are. They're beautiful, and it's funny because we have my daughter Anna and I. We have where we meditate. There's a zinnia just outside of our on our balcony door there. That's just been such a focal point for zinnia symbols. Let's see what we got. A yellow colored zinnia, and actually this one's a pink one, and so are these. So are these actually in her around her. Magenta, yellow. I think it's just a matter of several meanings. Here we go. But this one's pink. So pink is definitely of the heart chakra. It's like opening your heart. Receptivity was also something I was feeling. So opening up our heart to hearing what it is. What does the zinnia flower mean? Including thoughts of friends, endurance, endurance. There's those seahorses. Daily remembrance, goodness, and lasting affection. The Victorian meaning of zinnias is thought of as an absent friend of the heart, lasting affection, daily remembrance. So it's a tough flower. So zinnia is one tough flower. So the symbolism has evolved to mean endurance in all of its many forms. This includes spontaneous endurance from youth to old age. The zinnia endures and continues to bloom. It is believed to mean joyous endurance, happy to bloom in the broiling heat of summer. The zinnia also endures through any trials and tribulations, to put forth beautiful flowers in many shades of red, orange, apricot, yellow, white, lilac, and even lime green. It doesn't say pink, but pink is definitely a color of the heart, and she's definitely got pink zinnias. So this is something of lasting endurance. So wherever you're putting your energy and the relationships that you're moving with going forward, make sure they're ones that they feed you. Make sure that they feed you as much as you're feeding into them. And that's one of the great big messages of this Libra full moon. And if you're following anybody of the astrologers online, you're hearing that this full moon is all about relationship. So at the bottom of the deck, what do we have? We've got the Queen of Pentacles. So again, lasting endurance. That was one of the things that came up to me in this King of Cups card. So it's really interesting. We've got a lot of really strong cards in this. We've got the King of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And this is actually, so I like them as a couple coming up in this particular reading, because she's very grounded, where he is definitely more like, in the emotional realm. He's in the realm of faith. He's in the realm of communication, and creativity. Whereas she's definitely a self-made woman. She has worked really, really hard. She takes care of her family, and she's actually growing herself. She comes out of an oak tree. She's coming out of an oak tree, and she has a star. So again, I'm really drawn to that imagination of what's going on like above our heads, and connecting to powers that are higher than us in order to get the best information on how to move forward. Because I think a lot of times, and I think this, if you raise your hand if this is true for you, one of the things that can feel difficult is what is the best way forward, right? What is the best way forward in to achieve that kind of balance in our relationships, to, weed out to really look at what feels toxic, but is really just not a good fit. That was one of the questions. That was a word my daughter brought up this morning. They're just not, these relationships just aren't a good fit, and you need to step away from them for a bit in order that might be what you need to do to achieve that balance. The Six of Wands has come up again at the bottom of the deck. That came up a couple of days ago. It was a second card in, and the Hermit. That's another card of meditation. The Empress. We have a lot of beautiful cards here. So I think the theme of it is, like I said, when we opened up this reading, we opened up with the Archangel Raphael cards. Hey, Andrea, how are you? And meditation, that's come up really strongly in the Four of Swords, and improving our health. That is the way of improving our health, improving our own selves and showing up the best. That's self-care. This term of self-care continues to be So I think we need to also adjust our viewpoint on what that is so we can have these lasting and enduring relationships. And I think it's not the lasting and enduring relationships we need to have is first and foremost with ourselves. How do we show up for ourselves? And are we showing up in our best way for ourselves, first and foremost, in a way that is open and joyous? And going into that subconscious, going into that place where, looking into the dark, where we, don't always express our needs, writing down a list of what our needs are and how we want to be treated in relationships. And by doing that, by looking at those needs, how can we then be really clear on how it is that we need to be treating ourselves? And therefore, and do we actually do that in our relationships? Like in the things that we need, do we do those things in our relationship? Right? Yeah, we all, isn't that funny, Andrea? Yeah, you're interested now. You're strangely what I needed to hear. When you need to hear something, the universe will come to you in whatever form that it arrives. That's so funny. But yeah, I think that if when we show up for ourselves and if we're really clear on what it is that we want from other people, hey Erin, how are you? Hey Molotov cocktail, how are you? We are definitely much more clear on how we can do that for ourselves. And therefore, we're starting to do it for other people. And then we start to attract in the right people who they're just working on that vibration. It's very, very simple. And then we are in this place of abundance, right? We're feeling secure. We're feeling secure. So, but it definitely has to start with our own relationships. So I think with this Libra full moon, which of course is coming up really strongly with our moon card, the relationships with ourselves are the ones that we need to get right first. Sitting quietly, be in that meditative place today, tomorrow, throughout the Easter weekend. This is for a lot of people who are for those who celebrate and follow the Christian calendar. We are working with Easter, which is a time of resurrection. How can we actually resurrect ourselves? How can we look within and pull out what feels dead in us, and then move forward in a way that in our relationships that actually is emotionally connected, emotionally balanced, as well as that showing up in the 3D. And that's showing up in the 3D. So I think that is pretty much it. I'm going to leave it at that. I'll probably do a write-up a little bit later if I have time. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. For those of you YouTube, direct message me on Instagram. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Have a great day.